Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares. Welcome back to another Top 20 for 2020. Now, this is going to be my top 20 werewolf films. Please keep in mind that this is just my opinion and how I see the films. I want to say a special thank you to Joe the Horror Man for helping me come up with this challenge, and also thank you to everyone who's participated. I really appreciate it. Now, let's get started. And coming in at number 20 is Werewolf, The Beast Among Us. Now, this is kind of a period piece, and this is one I picked up on Black Friday 2 or 3 years ago at the $1.99 green tag sort of thing. And I was actually surprised how much I liked it. It's a pretty cool tale, so it's a definite recommendation. Fun werewolf movie. Now, coming in at number 19 is Skinwalkers. This movie is just fun. It's basically a western and a werewolf movie combined. It's got an interesting story, and I've always enjoyed it. And that's number 19, Skinwalkers. Coming in at number 18 is Blood and Chocolate. Now, this movie's kind of interesting because to me, it's kind of a little bit Twilight-esque. Now, this did come out a year before Twilight came out, so, and it's not as hokey as Twilight is. I don't really care for Twilight, but this is fun, and it's got a really cool cast. So, and that's Blood and Chocolate. All right, coming in at number 17, I want to say thank you to Brad because he actually kind of got me to watch this. And it's Red Riding Hood, the extended edition. Now, this also has an alternate ending that's supposed to be a little bit more provocative. And I guess it is, for all intents and purposes. But it's just a really fun, dreamlike quality, fairy tale-esque sort of film. The only thing I didn't particularly care for in this film was the dialogue. It sounded like it was written by a 3-year-old. But it's actually a really good film, and it has some really good actors in it. It's also a period piece, so that's Red Riding Hood, the alternate cut. Alright, coming up at number 16 is Wolfman. Now, I've always considered this a more intelligent werewolf film. This has a great cast. Gregory Hines, R.I.P., is one of my favorite actors ever. He was a great dancer and seemed like a really cool guy. And I always considered this one more of an intelligent movie than a lot of the other werewolf movies. It's a slow burn, definitely, but I always enjoyed it. Alright, coming up at number 15 is, and this is the only way I have it now, is Night Howl. Night Howl impressed the hell out of me. I believe it was $1,000 they made this movie for, and I thought it was brilliant. Definitely one of my favorite werewolf movies that I've seen in the past year, and yeah, it's a definite recommendation. The ending, the twist at the end, people seemed to either love it or hate it. Me, I thought it was brilliant. So, but yeah, Night Howl coming in at number 15. Coming in at number 14 is Cursed. Now, it seems like a lot of people hate on this movie, but I've always enjoyed it. I like Wes Craven. I thought he was a great director, and this movie was a lot of fun for me. It also has a great cast. And that is Cursed. Alright, coming in at number 13, another movie with a great cast. And hardly anyone ever talks about this. It's kind of surprising. And this has James Spader, of course, Jack Nicholson, Michelle Pfeiffer. And it's just a really, really fun werewolf movie with great acting. Alright, coming up at number 12. And this was a tough one for me because I wanted to put this one higher. That's Wolf Cop. I love Wolf Cop. I got some of the comics that came out around the same time as well. The only thing I haven't seen another Wolf Cop yet, and I've been wanting to see it, but This movie is fantastic. It's a lot of fun. It's got its horror elements. It's kind of like a horror comedy. And I just think it's great. Ever since I first saw it, I've loved it. So, yeah, that's Wolf Cop coming in at number 12. Coming in at number 11 is The Monster Squad. Now, I know this has Dracula, the Mummy, Frankenstein, and the Werewolf, and Gilman, but this has a really cool werewolf in it, and a bit of an odd story. Whenever someone would ask me, what is a movie that everyone loves that you're not that keen on, for me it was always The Monster Squad, and I gave it another watch. It was last year, and I really enjoyed it. And I just watched it for this list, and I absolutely loved it. Um, I guess maybe I wasn't in the mood for it the first time. Not sure, but it's a really really fun movie. So, all right, cracking in the top 10. Now, my number 10 may be a little bit controversial because it's not really considered a horror movie, but it's one of my favorites of all time, and that is Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf 2, I did give another watch because I've kind of always stated that I didn't care for it, and it's okay. You know, I can get past it. It's not too bad. But Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox, it was one that I grew up with, and I've always enjoyed it. So it just there is a little bit of horror element to it. Of course, there's a werewolf in it, but you know the horror is a little light. So, but yeah, that is number 10, Teen Wolf. Coming up at number 9. This is also one I wanted to rank higher, but I like other movies more than this one. This is a found footage werewolf movie called Whir, and I would recommend this to anyone. Unless you hate found footage, I would give this one a shot because it's really good. I know a couple people had a problem with the ending. I really didn't, but I really enjoy this movie. It's a lot of fun. And it tells a different type of werewolf story. So, yeah, that's Whir coming in at number 9. Coming in at number 8. A lot of people will probably have higher, but it's Ginger Snaps. Now, I've always enjoyed this film. This one is one that I watched when it first came out. The second Ginger Snaps is okay. The third one I like better than the second one, but not as much as the first. I just thought this was a really, really good werewolf film. Even though you don't get a ton of the werewolf, or Catherine Isabel in the full werewolf garb, it's her transformation that makes this movie heartbreaking. But yeah, Ginger Snaps coming in at number 8. Alright, coming in at number 7 is Bad Wolf. It seems like this has more of a following now. I remember when people used to hate on this movie, and I never understood why. I thought Michael Pare was really good in this. Where's the name? Can't remember the name of the mom now. Mariel Hemingway, I think. But she was really good in it. And I like the fact that the story is mostly about, and the hero is a dog named Thor. But yeah, this is just a fantastic movie. Always enjoyed this one. And that's Bad Moon. Alright, guys. Coming up at number 6 is Dog Soldiers. Now, I do have the Blu-ray of this, but I wanted to show this because this is a little bit different of a copy of Dog Soldiers, and you don't see people show this one ever. I happened to find this copy, and I love the artwork on it. It's a lot of fun. Now, Dog Soldiers is a great film, and when I saw it for the first time, I didn't make it past probably the 3 or 4 minute mark because of what happened in the beginning. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I don't like when animals get hurt in movies or get killed. I don't know. It's just a thing with me. But I was persuaded to give this another shot, and I just fell in love with it. Just a great film. And that is Dog Soldiers, coming in at number 6. Alright, guys, we have our top 5 here. And coming in at number 5 may be a surprise. And that is American Werewolf in London. I've always liked this film. This is actually a film that is starting to go down for me every time I watch it. I don't like it quite as much, and I'm not really sure why. But last couple times I've seen it, it just kind of a little bit gets taken away from it. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure why, but it is a great movie, and it has one of the best transformation scenes ever. Yeah, that's number 5, American Werewolf in London. I'm sure that's going to be number 1 on a lot of people's list. Number 4 is Silver Bullet. This movie is just great. I have a lot of fun with this movie. It was one that Stephen King adaptations always seem to me to be the lesser of a lot of the evils of horror movies. If it didn't have foul language and a little bit of gore, you could probably show most Stephen King films to kids, with the exception of maybe Apt the Pupil and yeah, I'm trying to think of another one, but I can't. But they were always a little bit on the lighter side, and I always thought this movie was great. Gary Busey was awesome in it. Corey Haim was great in this movie, and yeah, it's a really good movie. And that's number 4, Silver Bullet. Coming up at number 3 is the original, the Wolfman. This used to be my favorite Universal monster when I was younger, because it was probably the first one I think it was the first one I saw when I was younger, and it always held that sentimental spot. But as I got older, my favorite Universal monster is the creature from the Black Lagoon, or the Gill Man, whatever you want to call him. But I still love the Wolfman. Such a good movie. I watched this the other day for the list to see where it would place, and yeah, just a fantastic movie. All right, coming up at number 2 is The Howling. Now, to me, this movie is better than American Werewolf in London. I like the humor, I like the quirkiness, and I love the transformation scene. I like the transformation scene better in this than I do in American Werewolf in London. That's just my opinion. I like John Carradine in this. It's just a really weird take on a werewolf movie, if you really think about it. Dee Snider's great in this. It's just really cool. And coming up at number 1, which may be a surprise. If you know me, it's probably not a surprise. But it is Late Phases, Night of the Lone Wolf. I love everything about this film. The only gripe I do have with it is the werewolf design a little bit. I thought the heads were great, but the rest of the body wasn't quite as good, I didn't think. But that's the only gripe I can find about this entire film. I love this movie. Nick D'Amici plays a great part in this. And this actually, to show you how much I love this movie, this has an animal death in it. And I still love this movie that much to put it at number 1. Yeah, this is a really good flick. I do recommend this for anyone who likes werewolf movies because, to be honest, they are kind of few and far between. The Howling series never really impressed me. American Werewolf in London is... I still haven't made it through it. And I've tried 3 or 4 times now over the years. But, like I said, werewolf movies aren't my favorite subgenre. But if there's a good one that comes along, I'm there. So, yeah. And that's my list. Special thank you to everyone who's watching and who's participating in the top 20. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.